Welcome back. 2017 was a historic year filled with unforgettable and powerful images.
Our friends at Time Magazine scoured through countless pictures to select their top photos of the year. Paul Moakley is Time's Deputy Director of Photography. Paul, good to have you. We should note that your list includes pictures from all over the world, but this morning we're just going to focus on the domestic pictures. And this is the first image. This was from August. This is a white nationalist. This was a domestic terror incident down in Charlottesville, Virginia. Tell us the story behind this photo.
Sure. I think that August morning we all woke up to images from the night before of those protests. They were terrifying. And all the protesters came out, and it was just an insane day. This was the culmination of all that violence from that day, all that hate. And this picture is fascinating. You could look at it forever. There's countless little details of shoes, cell phones flying through the air. And it's just an image that I think was instantly iconic this year from all the images we saw. And I also think it will just go down in the long line of, unfortunately, it will go down in history as one of the the images from the civil, like in the long line of civil rights imagery, the cops looking, with the dogs, from the 60s.
You indicated, though, that the photographer didn't even know that he'd had this picture, right?
No, he said it was just an instant reflex, and he just went with his instincts, and he found this image later, and it captured it all.
Next, we have an image that really became iconic from the worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history. That's at the Route 91 Music Festival in Las Vegas.
Yeah, this photographer, David Becker, he was actually working. He was finishing his work for the night, and he heard the gunshots. This image was taken right after the second round of shots, and he just walked into the whole scene, and it was chaos. And he said he was shooting in the dark, and he could hardly see anything. Wow. And he actually, the amazing thing about it is he went back to file his images, and he saw just horror in his files. And the amazing thing about his persistence, he got the image out, and we all woke up to this. It was on every homepage. It was on social media. All the newspapers that morning.
Number 3, this is Puerto Rico. This is back in September, of course, Hurricane Maria and its aftermath.
Yes, this image was taken by a photographer in a helicopter, and she was looking at the skyline in San Juan, and it's just a surreal image that she happened upon of a couple in their living room. They're just sitting there with their dog. They're actually looking at the photographer, Carolyn Cole, and it just shows you that we're just all vulnerable to Mother Nature, no matter where we live and who we are.
Sure. Look at that. This next photo was in the news. Chris Christie instantly became a meme, really. Look at this. You have him sitting on a beach over 4th of July weekend. But a lot of people, the public ones, obviously, were shut down.
Yes, this was the weekend that the beaches were shut down in Jersey, and it's Chris Christie is at the beach when no one else could be, and it resulted in what we now know as Beachgate. The image that day was taken, and then a couple hours later, Chris Christie was at a press conference saying he didn't get any sun, and later this image came out and proved otherwise. But within 2 days, Christie had to sign a budget, and everyone was back at the beach for 4th of July. It's kind of a great gotcha image from a great photojournalist.
This next picture is my favorite image of. No, this is not the picture. I thought we were going to come up on the solar eclipse picture, but we can talk about this one as well. This is the Ringling Brothers picture.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
There's the solar eclipse picture.
There we go.
Right there.
Sure. Well, the solar eclipse picture, we just love this. It's one of the more joyful pictures of the year. And it's just an image of everyone coming together under the Hollywood sign. It was
one of the more unifying moments, I feel like, of the year. So it was a moment where we could all kind of come together for something, that was bigger than all of us, really.
Yeah, usually in Los Angeles, we see people gawking at celebrities at movie premieres, but here they're coming together to just look at the wonder in the skies. It's a beautiful, beautiful moment from this year. Let's
look at the NFL. This was obviously huge this year. This is the NFL national anthem, the protests, which sparked a lot of debate this year. Tell us about this picture.
Sure. This image was taken about a month after the president was talking about the players at a rally, and I think it spurred more protests. And this was taken in October, and we love this image. It looks like they're soldiers kind of kneeling down in a very solemn moment. I think you see the weight of what they're protesting in this moment, and just with the smoke in the background, all the corporate logos, you see the risk that these players are taking, and it's a very solemn moment.
And this is the image, this next one, that sort of helped us start the year.
Yes, we were at the inauguration. We were all in our positions all morning, and this one photographer spent hours just waiting for the departure of the president. I love looking at this picture. There's just such different body language between Obama and Trump, and it's a little bit of a Rorschach test depending on how you see the image. But it's just them isolated in in a setting where there were just tons of people around them, and they're just set on these cold, wet stone steps. It looks like a cloudy sky, and just a very interesting, moody image from that day.
That seems like so long ago, doesn't it?
It does.
What a
Paul
year.
Moakley. Paul, thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.